My black petunias still looking pretty good. Well, not really black, but they're so dark purple that they look black. All the other petunias I had from early this spring, they just got too... Oh, a little butterfly. They got way too scraggly for me. And even with cutting off all the old blooms, I had to go. I did give these petunias a little shot of Miracle-Gro, I guess a few weeks ago. I think maybe that's helped, but they're still pretty green. I don't know if that's helped or not, but they really didn't look too bad even before I gave them Miracle-Gro, but they're awful pretty right now. I really like these ones. But anyways, so here's some more. So it's some type of salvia. It's purple salvia, but I don't know. You know, there's all kind of different salvias, but I got this big old bunch of it. It's the first time I ever had any. Really, I really like it. I kept the tag, but pretty sure it don't come back. But this is like an Agastache. These come back. I forget the name for this one, but it does mainly just Royal Raspberry or something. They're kind of fizzling out a little bit, but a little bird or chipmunk probably put that little sunflower seed in here. It's going to be blooming. So hyacinth, this is supposed to be like 2 or 3 different colors. As something keeps breaking off the buds. I don't know if it's little birds landing on it or dogs. But got some going to be opening up soon, and some little Garia stuff comes back too. So this is on like a little pedestal type of thing that I got down there at Donna's back this spring. Oh, and there's another bird seed, or probably I would guarantee is chipmunks. And all this right here is called garden sage. It's like a herb. I've been here since spring. I just really like the way it looks. That'll be blooming soon. I cut it back. I forget the name of some type of annual. It'll be blooming again soon. It's growing back though. You cut it back and it comes back out pretty good. This stuff's really easy to do if you ever want to try this. It's called Pentas, Pentas. And all you gotta do is once there's like reds, there's white, pinks, some purples. But once this little like this cluster gets done blooming, you just cut that stem off and it just keeps sending out new little shoots, and it just keeps blooming and blooming and blooming. It's really easy. And this is that. I really like this Diamond Frost Euphoria. I had seen some on that one on Yulia's YouTube page, and I had always thought it was really pretty. She planted around her yard and stuff, but of course it don't come back. But it's just kind of real dainty, just tiny little, just real kind of feathery. Pretty easy to take care of. It can take sun and shade, either both, mixture of both, or just one or the other. Here's one of my coral bells, or heucheras as Jess calls them. This one's done really good. I left it in this pot, so it should come back next year. I forget caramel. It's called caramel something. It's got pretty nice leaf colors. And some of my coleus, of course, I always do coleus because they're easy and lots of color. There's my canna lilies I bought from, I got 2 of them. Got from Walmart, I think, early this spring, and then it might have been Lowe's. I don't know. It's going to be one of the 2, but of course the bags are green, but they're barely see-through, so I really couldn't tell how good the little, it's not really a bulb. Cannalas don't really have bulbs. I don't know what you call them, but it kind of felt like it might be okay. Maybe like it's hard to see. I couldn't see the bag, so I was like, I don't know. Seems wishy-washy, but we'll try it. So So I think they did good. This one, I like this one. I don't think I've ever planted one of these with the stripy leaves. It's got orange flowers. I never had them to come back for me, so I think they can come back, but I've never had all except for one that I dug up out of my garage fire, but I planted it over there last year. And, I'll go over here. I set it right here. I just planted it. Dug it up yesterday, and it's been growing. I put it in a pot. It's getting a little dry over there. I think this one has red flowers on it, but so that's just my tub where I keep, cut clippings and weeds or anything that I pull. I put it in there, and then I take it off in the woods and dump it. This makes it easier. And here's what I done with all my cinder blocks I brought back, except for two. That one, this flat one, and then this one we had here. It's just been here. And then that's that one I picked up there. I told you that I liked. I had a hard time figuring out how I wanted the corner of it broke off right there, but he glued it back. You can kind of see. So I turned it up that way. I tried to figure out different ways to use it, but I finally, just yesterday, figured out how I wanted to, it might not be homes and gardensy looking, but I like it. Just a little pot of begonias and some Donna stuff that I've had, just little odds and ends I stick over here. That's one I've had. I think I had that one a couple years now. This little planter, little begonia in it. And this is a Japanese painted fern that I had planted in the ground over there. Maybe last year or year before. Can't remember. It came back this spring, but it just never. It wasn't really growing too much. So I thought, well, if I put it, I don't know if it's because it was maybe just too shady over here, or maybe it's just getting beat up by all the rain we was having, which, got turned off now, but because we're in the beginning of August. But so once I put it in this pot with some pot and soil, it's really took off. That's kind of Japanese painted fern, supposedly because the leaves look painted, I guess. I don't know. I just think it's a pretty little fern. So I'm probably going to leave it in this pot and leave it outside. I ain't going to bring it inside because it'll come back. So, but it's been goes so good in that pot there, I hate to disturb it. So probably what I'll do is I'll just leave it out here and maybe like tuck it up underneath kind of, so it maybe has, when we have those really cold. Those blue jays are awful noisy. Excuse me. Tuck it like underneath, maybe under, so to kind of help protect it some. But yeah, this is I can't remember, some Japanese something. There's a different name for it. It's a shade grass. They'll make a clump, so it'll come back. And then this is the other canna lily. It's yellow. Another Walmart take a chance buy early in the spring. It's got yellow bugs. I cut it back. Cannas, you cut them when the stalks get done. You cut the stalk down, not the whole thing, and it'll send up another shoot. So that's what that one right there is doing. But this one's yellow. So, and this is this white flowers. It's called an obedient plant. It comes back. It's been in here for maybe a couple, 3 years now in this old pond tub, bladder, whatever you want to call them. It's one of those ponds things you insert. You dig a hole and you insert it. And I think this one's like it'll hold a lot of water. I'd say probably, I don't know. It's probably like maybe 3, 4 foot wide, about 2 foot deep, maybe a little more. But it's got shelves in it, so it works really good for container plant. I mean a container, whatever, pot plant flowers in. But yeah, it was, when it first bloomed, it was even prettier. But the good thing about these is you cut them back, cut down the stem, and it'll send out new little shoots and kind of keep blooming. I think there's a pink variety too, but I got the white one. And these little pink flowers, they're kind of coming back out. It's called Gomphrena. I seen on another YouTube channel lady I'm subscribed to. That's the first time I ever seen it, and I thought, oh, that's awful pretty, but never seen none. I did to that nursery in Paris, and they had some, but it don't come back. I think it can self-seed, is what they said, but I don't know. I got some in a pot up there by the deck pond too. It's blooming. It's a good thing I like it. You can cut it, clip it back, and it'll send out new shoots. So it'll be a lot of blooms here pretty soon. Just kind of little. Let me don't focus. Put my hand. Nothing big. Just small little fuzzy little flowers. It's real kind of neat looking. I think that's kind of a part sun, part shade kind of a plant, actually. Arlo in there just bark, 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 bark. Whoa. The blue jay about took my head off. He come flying up underneath here. Huh. Up in there somewhere. They want to come down here to that little watering thing I got down there, little bird bath that's on the ground. And this plant here, I gotta get up. I have to yawn. Got it off the side of the yard. It's an aster. One that just grows wild. Probably a lot of people think it's a weed, but it's got little light purple flowers. It'll be blooming here, the tail end of summer, and it's real. So I put it over here, and it came back, so can't hardly see it, but it's not blooming yet. It'll probably be a few more weeks, I bet, before it starts to bloom. Kind of blooms with all the goldenrod and stuff like that. So it's like I got several little plants of it in here, but yeah, there's my hummingbirds above me. Oh, and this tall thing right here, it's a verbena. I don't ask me what kind, which one. I kept the tag. I've never gotten any. It's another one I saw on one of the YouTubers, but I bet their feeder's empty. They get a little bit fussy. They seem to get ill when their favorite feeder gets empty, and I rotate them, but they probably got that small one emptied already. So I'll have to move the big one to their favorite spot. Anyways, but yeah, it gets real tall. It's real leggy. Seeing this in this, it's probably easy, close to 5 foot, but you can kind of tell. It's kind of hard to see it. But this is it's a verbena, but don't ask me what kind it is. I kept the tag, but so I got an opportunity to get it, so I got it. It'd be kind of one of those plants you might plant in something other where you can just see the tops of it. But of course I got a thing in here, kind of got it tied a little bit just to give it some support. And then my coleus, of course, more coleus. I'm not giving them much Miracle-Gro this year, as I just have it because we kept getting so much rain. But so I hate to give them more water when they was just getting, water until we have had rain now for about 3 weeks, and been terribly hot, of course, and of course everybody has been just hot and sticky and yucky. I think 1 or 2 times I've given them Miracle-Gro, but they're still got pretty big. I mean, still think they look pretty nice. And then there's my angel's trumpet that I got for my last birthday, so I've had it for a year now. It's gotten huge. I cut it back when we took it in the garage for this past winter, for its first winter with us. It's another pond container. cut it. They had it cut. You can cut them back. And I saw somebody, look at that big old leaf. You cut them, this is where I cut mine. But it was nowhere near this tall when I got it. So all this is new since I put it out this spring. About towards the end of April is when I set it outside finally. And it just sat in the garage. And it wasn't, I just cut it back, about halfway and just would water every so often, just a little bit. And that's what they said, don't water it. Just enough to keep, a little bit. And that's what I did because you kind of want the dirt to be a little dry. So, just kind of kept it set next to a window and then, but it's got new, switch hands here. The hands getting new little, it's going to be blooming out again. It's already had one flush of blooms, but I probably can't see. They're kind of hanging up there, but it's going to be hard to repot that sucker. It likes sun, but I like it right here because I kind of spin it around. I keep it rotated. But yeah, it's a little pot of petunias I got in there. They was blooming when I got them. The color was called cherry vanilla. It was like red with an outer circle of white. So I clipped off the blooms and it hasn't bloomed. So it kind of struggling for a little bit, but it's finally bouncing back out. So I don't sit it out in the full sun because it seems to kind of melt. So, but it's doing good right here now. It's looking pretty decent. So I'm hoping it'll give another flush of blooms. But yeah, it'll have to be repotted here the next, probably next time, sometime or other. That's gonna be fun. I may cut it back even shorter this winter, or fall rather. So, but yeah, this is just the. I don't know if you can hear Arlo. He's just barking. That's my little thing I got at the one store on my birthday. Is just a little, they call it the at-home store. They get all kinds of, stuff like this, little doodads and home decor stuff. But yeah, I stuck one of my house plants out here. This little hostas planted in those the beehive boxes, and and that one with the big ears there. This was a house plant. It was growing pretty decent inside, but so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna put you outside, and it's, of course, they're gonna be outside because out here it's more like it's environment, humid and warm and shady and moist. So it's doing good. So there's my bunny. Had that bunny right there, that concrete bunny, a long time. Another type of begonia. And these little begonias in that pot. Little hostas. These little hostas, they don't get very big. They stay small. That's why they do good, and they say they do good in little pots like that. So. My rabbits. I got some more begonias. I like these little begonias. You buy them at like Lowe's and little 6 or 8 packs. They really don't look like a whole lot when they first set them out, but they have been just the best little. If you got like a shady porch, put them in a pot, and then where they get bright light, but they can take a little sun, but as you can see, there's white, and I think there's pink and some red. These don't get very big. Real easy. So, yeah, that's a little bird bath. Little birds. I just love this one over here. I kind of got it stacked up on the rocks, and they just come over here and splish splash all in it. Tried to kind of got this rigged up here because I didn't. Probably should just take it up, this little fence. I didn't want the plant to fall all into the to the water there and overhanging it, but I'm probably move this because it's I think it's like it's some type of it's a shade plant. It has yellow flowers. It hasn't bloomed yet, I don't think. It comes back every year. But yeah, just my little quirky little corner over here. Got a house plant. I took it out. It's was on the wall in the bathroom, and I took it out and I repotted it yesterday. And it's been sitting over there. I don't want to bring it back inside just yet. It was growing like crazy, so I may clip some of these legs off of it. So it's also kind of like my little work corner over here. And this caladium. If you ever see this kind of caladium, it seems to be a pretty strong grower. It's, I like the green and the white, and it's once it starts, it's got a little bit of a red center, but it's once it gets going, it really grows. I think I had some over there last year, but I put it in that. That right there is another house plant that I brought out, and I probably won't come back. I'll probably just let the frost get it because it's just. Don't ask me the name of it. I know the name. I know it's just something like a cornstalk plant. I really don't remember, but it didn't used to be that tall, but it's kept getting taller and taller. So I said, you know what? You're gonna go outside and just I set the lid underneath it because this, I don't know if you can kind of tell. Really, what these are is 3 of them I've had forever. There's a little hanger, a little small wire basket hangs from this and hangs over it. So forever, I when it first got them, they didn't. Little small wire basket where you put the coconut liner shells in. Just they used to sit on the front porch, and the front porch, they would kind of get neglected out there, so they got put behind the shed forever until the past few years. I've put them out here, and this is kind of how I use them. I have a big wire basket I got from Amazon, and these coconut liners have the plastic kind of built in, which is kind of neat. And I needed a shelf instead of just sitting on the top of the, so there's really not a, so I put just Lowe's bucket lids. I painted this one just so that it would sit better. Nothing fancy, but yeah, it's just, it's been getting taller and taller and taller. It's a really neat looking plant. Pretty easy to take care of, but if you have a big house or one of them nice, like a sunroom, or a lot of people call them Florida rooms, and this one got a little bit too big, so it's been doing really good out here all spring and summer. So it'll probably be let go when the frost comes. So it'll be like a tropical kind of a plant, but this plant will go to the garage. It puts out it won't survive that. Actually, if you live somewhere like Florida or someplace like that, it'll make big clumps of this plant and have big clusters of bright orange flowers, big flowers. This is one of the old ones, of course. It bloomed this spring early. So I've had it 3 or 4 years now, about 3. So it's been doing good. So it gets put in the garage through the winter, and then I bring it out. So just some hostas, and I put in this pot so I know that this is the first year those hostas have been put in here, so they'll be coming back next year. Of course, some coleuses and some more caladiums and coleuses over here, and more coleuses. And this is still my staghorn fern that I don't know I've had for a good while now, and I'm debating on whether to. It's just it's a neat plant, and all that stuff there you see is what it's supposed to do. It probably needs to be repotted now. Torn about it, whether to bring it in or not. I don't know. You actually don't even have to have dirt for these plants. I've seen them where it's called staghorn because it's like there's a deer. It's called a staghorn, but it's supposed to look like their horns. Their roots are kind of like an orchid. They fall like where they're actually from into like the crooks and crannies of trees, say like an elbow or like something they would fall in there and collect like moss, just debris and stuff like that. So they would kind of have a little bit of, not really dirt, but just stuff around them, and their roots are kind of like air roots, and they kind of grab a hold of, the little corners and elbows and stuff of a tree, and they just attach themselves that way. So they don't technically have to have dirt. But if they do, then it's best to make it kind of a, like this is just a wire coconut shell where it can have air and water flows through it, but it holds moisture. But definitely a shade plant, but real neat plant, and I've had it for a while, and it's been doing, it's just a neat thing. But yeah, so I got projects out here doing, and so finally getting it, put together and stuff. I come out here and repot something other or something like that, and I should walk around to the front. I didn't show the front side, just the back side. You can kind of see it. But this right here is another one of the ladies I watch on YouTube. She had this and called black and blue salvia. I can remember that one because it's easy. It's like the purple salvia, but it's just black and blue because I guess the stems look kind of black, and then the blooms are, I don't know if you can tell, but they're really like actually blue. To me, looking at the video, it looks purple, but it's really blue. And then there's the verbena. See it better on this side. And the coneflower that came back and blew and is fading out now. This is it's just like the black and blue salvia, but this is purple. It can be it's a pretty strong grower. But it's doing good on here and amongst all the canna lilies and stuff. And this thing over here, I got it at Donna's. Hold on, I got my stuff in my hand. Throw it in there. I got it at Donna's early this spring. It's a small little plant too. I had it last year too. It's like a water plant, but it's more like what a plant. Say if you have like a pond or a lake or something like along the edge. So it needs a lot of water, moisture, but not necessarily grows in, like a water plant. But I just recently, a couple of weeks ago, put it in this big pot because it just kept getting big. But it's just a neat looking plant. And I tell you, it was only like maybe 6-8 inches tall when I got it. It was a small little plant. And each one of these little, I think they kind of put out their own little plant in a way, kind of like on the ends. But I pretty much give it a little bit of water every day. Just put the water on, keep it moist. I got some mulch on the top of it. You could tell it would probably get pretty carried away if it was just growing out, say like the edge of a lake or a pond, especially a pond, a big pond. It'd probably be really King Tut. I forget the name. I remember King Tut, but and here's some new ones that's coming out. But I think this is a neat plant, just something different, and definitely need a big pot for it. But you'd have to throw a lot of water to it. I want to get my little sunflower that I grew. That's one of those dwarf sunspots, and that taller one's a different kind. It's supposed to be red with the white rings around it or something. I haven't done any of those in a long time. My cucumbers are getting a little peaked looking. It is August, so it's getting that time. But I wish we'd get some rain to help me water stuff better. I get kind of selective when it comes to when we stop getting rain, because you have to think about that when you're on a well. Of course, you know that. So I wish I could remember the name of that. This is a really neat. There's something I dug up out of the woods over there. There's another spot of it I'd like to get, but it's baby tick season now. Baby ticks are coming out, and I don't mess around getting in that mess. See some cucumbers I need to pick off, but yeah. So that's my mess of stuff I got going on out here. But my little sunflower, they got bigger. I don't know, there's other thing to do too. Getting as big as it normally does. I mean, they don't get tall, but they put out a pretty good sized sunflower head. But yeah, that's my tour of my container garden is what I would call it. Container gardening. Front side sun, back side shade. Except for this angle here, when it starts to come around this way, it's going to shoot right here as it sets over the house that way. But it's getting, of course, days are getting shorter now. But yeah, so it's kind of a good mix. There's a deer back there. They're like, "Are you going to bring us any corn?" See if I can zoom in. They're like, "Where's our snack at?" So we need a snack. Oh, hummingbird. Where'd he go? Oh, he went and landed somewhere. He's on that feeder right there. I got 3 feeders. I got 2 of those small ones. And let me go back to normal. I think that's normal. One big one in their favorite spot, and I keep them rotated because they empty out the one in their favorite spot gets emptied out. So the small ones, it takes time for them to empty those out because they don't drink out of them as much. So I kind of rotate them so they don't doesn't go bad. Oh, that's a buck. And one's a buck. Yeah, little buck. So that's my tour of one of my little favorite spots, I guess. I just like it back here. Shade and sun, and it's just kind of like a little... Up here painting my fairies, but I'm not going to show that just yet, not until I get done with it. So I got a cardboard and my fairy and stuff over here. When I get her painted, I'll do the grand reveal. But yeah, so that's what I did with my blocks. I put that rock in the middle in case Kinsley wanted to stick her head through there after something. She killed a blue jay the other day. I didn't see her, but she ambushed it. I know, because there's quite a few blue jays around here, and I seen her out in the yard. She got a hold of something and I ran out there, and it was a freshly killed blue jay. So can't get nothing past her. But yeah, that's that one. I wish I could have figured out a different, had different ideas, but none of them really just ideas. You know, sometimes ideas don't work out, but so I think I just arranged this yesterday. Well, these I had. The other parts I couldn't figure out how I wanted them, so. But I think I got it set now. I like that. Not fancy, I know, but I don't care. I like it. Remember, all this used to be wide open and have nothing over here. Start with one. Took my 2 ponds out, and I had in containers, and I had, in the ground, and that got to be old news and too much pain in my butt to take care of, so I found a good use for them. Drilled some holes for some drainage, and I had all this dirt is just all what I've kept, and I've had it for a while, and I just keep, except for maybe a new pot here and there, but a couple, 3 pots are new dirt. All the sun go behind the cloud. But I just like when the fall comes, I put in a bunch of leaves and just mix it all in and stuff. And right now, some of them got mulch, especially with these canna lilies. I put in some mulch because they like a lot of water, or like not water, but I think they probably could grow along the edge of a pond or something. But they're pretty stalky, so they do like moisture. So that's why I put the mulch to kind of help keep it moist. But I like this little grass. I forget the name. I think Yulia, she had some, and I remember seeing it. She had like a whole, it grows to a clump, so I just got one. It's a shade type of a plant. I do remember something Japanese, something. So yeah, that's just figured I was out here for a little bit, and I figured I would do an exciting video on it. And they're just back there watching me, the deer. They're like, hey, since you're out here, bring us some corn. See my rugs I put there, they've been there for a couple years now. That was a spot that they want to come out here and eat dirt, the dogs. And they scratch and eat dirt. I kind of got irritated 2, 3 years ago, maybe. I don't remember. The one rug was an outside rug, and then the other ones were some inside ones that I've had, so they got put out here at the end of the walk here, and they've helped. Now the grass and stuff is growing through them. They'll deteriorate them over time, of course, but it's helped keep down on stuff. But I know it doesn't look the best, but it definitely serves a good purpose. So, well, I'm gonna go. I've rambled on enough. Way too long. So anyways, I'm gonna shut it off, and I'll probably go throw some corn out. We can see them better now. The sun is kind of going behind a little bit of a cloud. I hope we get some rain, but I'm not counting on it. They're just so dark purple that they are black. They look black, but definitely look pretty good. So as long as they keep looking, I'll keep deadheading them, and I'll trim off a limb here and there. I think the Miracle-Gro might have helped them a little bit, but I don't know. It might be a little bit more of a hardier kind of a petunia. Really hard to do this in a little short. I can do bits and pieces. I thought about it, but I was like, well, can't get it all. Then I have to do like 5 or 10 shorts of the same. I hope I can find this again. I've had it planted early this spring, like around about May, I guess. And it stayed short for the longest time. I was like, well, you ain't gonna do nothing. And then all of a sudden, it just started shooting out there. But you can tell that one was purple. You can tell that that one's blue. Black and blue salvia is what this one's called. And the other one's just, they're the same thing. This one's purple, one's a, and here's a little plant that I got off the side of the yard too. It's a shady, moist kind of an area plant. And I had a whole pile of this stuff that I got up over there by my hydrangea. Tiny little plant. Of course, it was a spot that kept getting mowed, and I put it, and it just whoosh, and it seeds. So this stuff was coming up all in the gravel and stuff. So I said, well, I yanked it all up out of the gravel. I think that was, was it this spring, last spring? I don't remember, but some of it has still survived, and I just kind of let it, as long as it doesn't get too out of control. But it's not a native plant. Forget the name. I always forget the names of stuff, but it just sends up these little sprawly little, so it's just here and there right now. It didn't seem to get too aggressive this time, so it's not anything hard to get rid of if you need to be. So, alright, I'm going to go for real this time. So, until another exciting video later, I shall go, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.